And my friends, today, the front runner, at least according to the national polls in the Republican primary, is someone who was preying on your anger, is someone who was preying on fear. And there has never been in the history of mankind a great movement that has been based on fear and on anger. That has never happened. Last Thursday, we had a debate. We'll have another one this Thursday. And before I watched that debate, before I went into that debate, I got an email from someone. And if it has a video or some attachment, I'm always very careful about opening it because you're afraid, it's a virus or something. But I clicked on this one, and it was a video for an institution named Trump University. It would be funny if it wasn't sad, because it was a video of Donald Trump sitting in a chair saying how he was the greatest, most famous businessman in the history of the world, and how he was going to start this Trump University, and we're going to hire the smartest people and the best people, and I'm going to handpick them myself, and you're going to come here and you're going to learn the things that you need to be successful. You're going to be so successful, you're going to be tired of being successful. And by the way, if you don't become successful after taking my Trump University courses, then you're never going to be successful. And that was targeted at people that were struggling. Because nobody that was making millions of dollars would have signed up for that course. It was targeted at people that were struggling. We know who they are because now they contact us. They're retirees. They were single moms. They were young people trying to start a business. They were people that were hurting, and they specifically targeted them. And they targeted them to lure them into what was supposed to be a free seminar. And they told them, you have to pay thousands of dollars to take this course. Many of them used their credit cards to pay for it. And then they told them, by the way, if you want to make the big bucks, you got to sign up for the $36,000 course. And they said, well, to do that, I'd have to go into more debt. And they were encouraged to go into more debt. They were told all great businesses have debt. And so a lot of people, they borrowed $36,000 from their credit card. That's right. And so the result is, people signed up for this course. And they borrowed $36,000 by increasing the borrowing limit on their credit cards. Some graduated, some didn't, but in the end, the only thing you got was a piece of paper that was worthless and a picture with a cardboard cutout of Donald Trump. Now, this is sad, and it's wrong. And by the way, he's under investigation for fraud in New York. Today, a judge in New York refused to throw out the case. In fact, a 4-judge panel said this case moves forward. So he's under investigation for fraud, but this is more than just about Trump University. That's a fraud case, and it's outrageous. But here's what I realized as I watched that video. What he did to those people is what he's doing to Americans now. He's going to people and saying, make me president of the United States, and I am going to take on illegal immigration. But the fact is that he built Trump Towers with illegal immigrants from Poland. He says he's going to bring jobs back for America, but he doesn't tell people he makes all his clothing line in China and in Mexico. If he wants to bring jobs back from China and Mexico, he can start today by announcing that all the clothes that says Trump on it will be made in America from now on. He says he's going to protect the American worker. I can tell you in Florida last year, 300 American workers applied to work at his hotel. He didn't hire them. He said he couldn't find a qualified American. There's at least 300 people that were qualified. He didn't hire them. He hired guest workers from abroad. Now we hear that his true feelings about immigration may not be what he's saying on the stump. He did an interview with the New York Times where apparently he said something very different than what he's saying now, but it was off the record, so we can't know what he's saying. He can fix that right now by asking the New York Times to release the audio of the off-the-record interview that he gave. He says he's running because these politicians and these people in Washington, and he's right, these people are always cutting deals and things are bad for America, but he also says that every issue, no matter what, everything is negotiable. There are some things that are not negotiable. The Constitution is not negotiable. And so you quickly realize what you have here is a world-class con artist and a sham who is preying on people's fears and people's anger to get their votes, except the consequences are not a sham degree. The consequences are the presidency of the United States, the future of the conservative movement, the identity of the party of Lincoln and of Reagan, and ultimately the future of America. Anyone who votes for Donald Trump today in these caucuses is voting for Hillary Clinton in November. Because all these things I just said, the media knows about, and they're waiting to tear them apart. And by the way, the party of Lincoln and Reagan cannot have as its nominee someone who refuses to condemn the Ku Klux Klan. 3 days have gone by. He still won't do it. I'm going to say it right now. There is no place in the conservative movement, and there is no place in the Republican Party for the Ku Klux Klan or David Duke or white supremacists or any racism.